Boston do you feel like you got your start? Like, is there one place that really kind of opened doors for you, or?
Yeah, actually there is. Before I started my own band in 2000, I was playing at this club called Slade's, which everyone in Boston knows about Slade's. And I was playing with this bass player named Ray Brown. Not the Ray Brown, Boston's Ray Brown.
Okay.
Raphael Brown. And a good friend of mine, Antonio Jackson, saxophone player. I was playing in a band with him called Groove to This, and he said, "Hey Zeke, I play at this club called Slade's, every Friday night. Come on down, sit in. Our drummer always needs a break, So I said, all right, cool. Went down and sat in, and hanging out like all musicians do. At the end of the night, we're leaving and talking. Ray comes up to me and says, "Hey, what are you doing next Friday?" "Nothing. Do you want to do the gig?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So the following Friday I did the gig, and from then on I did the gig every Friday night for 4 years.
Wow.
So, I've seen Slade's change.
Yeah, I bet.
From having all carpet everywhere to not having carpet anywhere, like it is now, and just different structures of the building and so on and so forth. And that was really great because I was able to play with, like I said, the who's who of Boston. Everyone came in through Slade's and sat in with us, and I was able to meet everyone and learn a lot of songs too. Definitely, that was something that really helped.
Yeah.
Playing that weekly gig and learning all these new songs and getting my repertoire down.
And Slade's is still going strong.
Oh yeah, Slade's is still. We just played there last week. We just played there last week. So yeah.
That's gotta be great. That's gotta feel good to be there for so long and still be able to play.
Yeah.
At this place.
Yeah, it's especially, it's great to walk in there and kind of like, it's great to walk in there and kind of like walk in with your own band, as opposed to with someone else. But like, yeah, I grew up and I got my own band.
Yeah.
Here, check me out.
Yeah. So we're talking about Boston. I mean, you talk about Berkeley, and there's all types of great music in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think about Boston? What do you think that Boston does that creates these drummers that come out that have this different feel? Or do you think they have a different feel?
Yeah, they definitely have a different feel. I think what it is, the drummers in Boston are a lot more hungry than most. Boston has such an unbelievable past, from Roy Haynes to Alan Dawson, Tony Williams, some really great jazz drummers. I think Mike Mancini's from Boston as well, Dave DiCenzo. And so it's just, it's the hunger that these drummers have. It's just, I want to play. I want to shed, I want to play, I want to just, play and get out there and just have fun and enjoy, expressing my music to people.
And it's Boston. It's
And
not.
it's Boston.
It's not New York, right?
Right.
So it's not the scene that you have in New York.
Right.
So does that make it? You think that makes people work harder?
I do. I definitely do. I do. I think it makes the people work harder to get out there, to try to get the gigs that that might pay more, or that would give them more exposure, or give them abilities to travel around the world. I definitely think now it's a little bit easier with the digital age. Back in the day, I think it was New York or LA,
Right.
and that was it. And Nashville as well, for country music. But nowadays, I mean, you can have someone just record an album in the back of their car.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be at a certain spot. Yeah, it does help for meeting people, or meeting the right people.
Right.
It's the old saying of who you know or who knows you and stuff like that. But I think definitely now it's a lot easier to break in as long as you have the right mindset and work ethic to just move forward.
So what does the future hold for Mr. Zeke Martin?
Wow. The future holds for Mr. Zeke Martin a great tour with my band. Touring the world. Definitely more CDs. I have a record label that I started called Easy Groove Records. This year, I also started the drum show. And
the creator and producer of the drum show.
I started the drum show, which, as people have watched, shows about different drummers, not your, all the main guys, which is maybe just a handful of them. There's so many other musicians and drummers that are out there making a living that people might not know about. And then something that is really great is that my wife is expecting. So that's the future. That's the future for Zeke Martin right now. And who knows? Lots of great music. That's what I want for the future. Great music and great fun and great friends and great family and just lots of love.
That sounds wonderful. So what advice do you have for these upcoming drummers?
Practice.
And what does that mean? I think people have a different opinion of practice. They think, well, every now and then I go sit down and I, do a couple rudiments and I'm done. And is that practice, or what practice do you think is necessary in order to be at a level that can get you the gigs and get you the notoriety that you're looking for?
I think the practice that you need to do is consistency. That's the first and foremost. Even if you're really busy, let's say you have a day job, and you don't really have that much time, just a half an hour a day. It's consistency. Doing that half an hour a day is really important. Sitting down, working on. You need to know how good you are. You need to know what your abilities are and what abilities you don't have. And so you need to be your own judge, which is really hard to do because you could sit there and try, man, I sound awesome, when really you don't. So one good thing that you can do is tape yourself with a cassette tape and listen back to it and say, oh man, I need to work on that, or I need to work on this, or I need to work on that. And that will help with your practicing for sure, and help you build your skills better and be able to hone in on your instrument for sure. Let's see.
That sounds like good advice to me.
Oh, thank you. Working with, playing along with music. I've always been a big thing with me is playing along with, nowadays iPods, or, I have my laptop right here, so, I turn on my laptop and, turn on my iTunes and just, pick a CD that I want to play along with and just work on different stuff while you're playing with it. I always say the best song for anyone to ever play with is Billie Jean, because the beat is so consistent and so precise. He never really changes. There's not really any fills, and the song's about 5 minutes, 5 and change. And if you can sit there and play that drum beat for 5 minutes without adding a drum fill, that's a huge progress. Most of cats that I hear, they'll play, do a big fill and go back, and you don't really need that. You get your time to shine. You really will. And if you hold down that groove and hold down that, that backbeat, most people will keep hiring you. That's the most important part, is, to keep being hired, making sure that you have a roof over your head and food on the plate, and mortgage and rent and all that stuff is paid for. So, yeah.
So I have a question of my own, just kind of what do you do in your off time? I mean, I know drums is your life. You do it full time. You make a great living doing it. But what else do you do?
I watch TV. Let's see, for fun, what do I do?
Are you into sports or?
Yeah, basketball, Celtics. Let's see, this coming year is our year, I guarantee it.
Plug to the Celtics.
There you go. No, wow. What do I like to do for fun? I love to cook, which I've mentioned before on the show.
Are you good at it?
Yeah, yeah. You're still alive, so yeah, I'm pretty good at it. I actually bake too.
Yes.
I do bake. I make a killer banana bread.
Best banana bread.
Let's see. Love to cook. Basketball. I play tennis. I garden.
You garden.
I garden. Yes, I garden. Actually,
Do you have a garden right now?
Yes, I do. In our garden right now, we have tomatoes, basil, cucumbers, green peppers, and watermelon.
All right.
So that's what I do. That's what I do in my spare time.
Great.
So I never thought, actually, and she's gonna like be very surprised, but I never thought that I actually would like it, but I actually enjoyed gardening.
Thank you very much.
I actually enjoyed it. It was fun.
Good. Well, this was very interesting.
Thank you.
Love to learn all these things about you, and you're very, you got a lot of knowledge that I think is very important to share with people. So, again, this is the Drum Show. This is Mr. Zeke Martin. Are you gonna play something?
Yeah,
I'll
play something, yeah.
All right.
I'll do a little something in a bit.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.